Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. Welcome to another episode of Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness. Today we are going to be talking about how to stay balanced when the energy of the planet is shifting so quickly and everything is so hectic and crazy. I had a listener reach out and ask me that question, and I thought that's a good question and a great topic to dive into because I'm feeling it too. So if you are feeling the crazy energy around and it feels like you're unbalanced, you'll want to stick around for today's episode because I'm going to talk about how to stay balanced when everything is chaotic and it seems like everything is constantly shifting. Before we get started with today's topic, I want to talk to you guys about something that I discovered. I was on Facebook one day just scrolling through, and I saw that one of my friends posted that their daughter had plasma infusions and it was a life-saving thing, and he was thanking people who donated. So I thought about that and I thought, I could donate plasma, I think. So I looked into it to see what it entailed and how I could donate, because there are a lot of people. Since I was looking online and doing the research, I really discovered that it's needed and there are a lot of treatments they use with plasma. So I decided to see if I could donate somewhere, and I came across a company called BioLife. And just so you know, this is not sponsored by BioLife in any way. I just wanted to talk about the company because I think it's so important, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to give back to people. And not only do we give back, but BioLife actually pays you to donate plasma. And I didn't know that you got paid for things like that. I thought you just donated because you wanted to help out and it was out of the goodness of your heart, but they actually pay people. So I decided to check into it. They have locations all over the United States, and I decided to go in. And when you first go in, they just do an evaluation of you, and you get a really short physical. Basically, they just listen to your breathing and all of that and make sure that you're healthy. And then the actual donation itself only took like maybe 20 minutes. It really wasn't that long at all. And the place had free Wi-Fi. The chair that you sit in is super comfortable, and it has a plug for your phone. And you can just sit and watch videos on your phone of, from Netflix or wherever while you're donating. It's really quick and pretty easy. And just for donating, again, that 20 minutes of time that I donated, now the first time takes longer because you have to be evaluated and everything, it was like $130, which was pretty sweet. As a teacher who sometimes doesn't feel like she gets paid what she's worth, that was really nice to go in and get paid. I wasn't expecting that. I was really just going in to help out. So for me, it was like a win-win situation, and you can go in each time, and it's pretty simple. So I wanted to let you guys know about it because they really need plasma donation. And again, this podcast is not sponsored by them at all. I just really love that they are taking donations to try to help save lives. So it's called BioLife, and I'm going to put the link in the show notes so that you can go there and click directly there. If you go to BioLife and you sign up and you donate, I think if you mention me, that you were referred by me, I think that makes the process a little easier. But anyway, you can look at BioLife and see if they have any facilities near you. But I know that they do have them all over the country. You can go in and you can donate. You'll be saving a life, and you get a little spending money on the side, and who doesn't need that? So please go and check out BioLife. Again, they really do need people donating plasma, and there are so many people out there who need the plasma for different illnesses and diseases that they're treating. So I highly encourage you to go and check out BioLife Plasma Center. Again, mention my name. They are not sponsoring this episode. I just happened to find them, and I think that what they're doing is amazing, that they're helping to save lives. So check out BioLife, make a donation. You'll get a little spending money, and you're helping someone out in a huge way. And what you're doing is going to leave a really lasting positive effect on the world because you're helping to save lives. So go check out BioLife. Again, the link will be in the show notes, and I hope that you will all go do this because people really need life-saving plasma. So thank you for listening to this. It was something that I felt really heavy on my heart that I wanted to share with you. So today we are talking about how to stay grounded when the energy of the planet is constantly shifting and the energies are so heavy, and they really are heavy right now. So I decided to connect to the divine to see what messages came out about this. And the first thing that I got is what is important for you right now is to make sure that you're staying present. I feel like there are so many people who are looking back at past decisions they've made, things they've done, and they're feeling guilt and shame, and it's weighing very heavily on a lot of people. And the reason that that is happening is because a lot of things are being brought up to the surface so we can heal it and clear it. But what's happening is that a lot of people are getting stuck in that shame cycle, and instead of just working on clearing it and healing it, they're getting stuck on beating themselves up because of things that they think they've done wrong. And that's not what this is about at all. A lot of people mistakenly believe that when you work on yourselves, when you look back at the past, you should be beating yourself up and saying, oh, I should have done that better. I could have done that better. That's not what it's about. Going back to the past is just looking at how maybe you behaved in the past and saying, how can I do that differently next time so that it works out better and I get better results? It's not about saying to yourself, oh, you're so stupid. Why did you do that? So stop doing that. The universe wants you to stop doing that. And to also stop looking to the future because you're giving yourself anxiety. When we worry about what's going to happen, what if, we will drive ourselves crazy. You create your own mental prison by focusing on the wrong things. If you focus on suffering, then you will suffer. And I know that this seems so easy, but it really is true. And I am guilty as anyone else of focusing on all the wrong things and forcing myself to suffer unnecessarily. I focused on things in the past, like worrying that my children didn't like me and that we were never going to have a close relationship. And that was not true at all. But I made myself crazy thinking about all of the ways in which I had failed them as a parent. And I wasn't a great parent, that I did this, I should have done that. None of that was helpful. And all it did was make me miserable instead of trying to focus on, okay, how can we make things better? How can I be better? And when I started focusing my energy there instead of what I had done in the past, but how can I cultivate a closer relationship with them in the future? When I put my focus on a different thing, things shifted. So we've got to start looking at what we're paying attention to, what we're focusing on, because many of us are focusing on the wrong thing, and we're focused on the thing that's going to cause us to suffer more. If something isn't making you happy, take away the one thing you can, which is your attention from it. And I'm not talking about ignoring things and blindly going through life, but for example, if something happens to you, like, I had a bad experience the other day with a guest. If something happens to you, I could sit there and dwell on it and be like, oh my gosh, why did that happen? And I would have driven myself crazy and been miserable, but I decided not to focus that. Instead, I said, okay, here's how I'm going to be different, better next time. I'm going to take that lesson, but I'm not going to dwell on what happened. It's not useful anyway. I'm just going to take the lesson and move forward and not dwell on the hurt and the pain and the this and the that, because that's not useful. So focus on the right thing. The other message I got is that you need to ask yourself, is this a big deal? Because a lot of times we end up focusing on things that are not a big deal. If it's not going to matter to you in 5 days, 5 months, 5 weeks, 5 years, let it go. It's not worth your time or energy. And the thing is, I did an episode for my Patreon page. I did this episode yesterday all about karma and the 12 laws of karma and how people sometimes mistake what karma is. But one of the laws of karma is all about focusing on one thing at a time and not trying to be everything to everyone and focusing everywhere, because you will feel overwhelmed, frustrated, and burned out. So pay attention to what you're giving your energy to. You only have a limited amount of energy. And so if your energy feels like it's all over the place, it's probably because you're all over the place. You've got to choose, be very picky about where you expend your energy. What are you giving to? Are you giving to things that aren't giving back to you? Be very picky and selective about what you give your energy to. My sister always had this joke. She would make fun of me and tell me that I was too picky when it came to dating. And I said to her, I don't care what you think. I'd rather be picky. I'd rather be alone than with someone that doesn't treat me well or that I don't like. I'm fine with that. I'd rather have that than have something that I don't want or isn't good for me. And we laugh now because now she says, yeah, I should have been picky too. And we laugh about it as like an inside joke. But the universe was sending that message. Be picky, be selective with who you spend your time with, what you give your time to, and what you're doing, because you need to make time for self-care. And if you're not making time for self-care, that was another message, was don't ignore the self-care. And if you're not getting in the self-care, you're not useful to anyone, because you're going to be overwhelmed, drained, exhausted, burned out. You've got to ask other people for help, not be the martyr, because being a martyr, you're not going to get a special ceremony in heaven for never letting anyone help you. There's no award for doing everything yourself and burning out. The only reward for that is you might die early because you get sick or because you have a heart attack. And no one wants that. So don't try to be the martyr and do everything yourself and then be angry and upset with others and make yourself feel resentful because no one's helping you. If you don't open your mouth and ask others to help you, you have to ask for help, even to the universe. Because a lot of times we say like, well, I asked for that. Did you? Did you keep asking? We need help sometimes. There's no shame in that. It's not a weakness. You need to ask others to help you. That is a lesson that many people need to learn. Swallow your pride. Say what you need to say. Ask for help. Don't try to do everything yourself. You will burn out so fast. You will be so resentful. The other message that the universe gave me is that you need to change your perspective. And again, that's sort of goes along with, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the suffering? Are you focusing on how overwhelmed you are? Are you focusing on all of the negative things going on in your life? If so, you cannot expect to be happy and fulfilled and all of these things because you're causing your own suffering. You're focusing on what is causing you to suffer. That doesn't mean that challenges won't happen in our life. Of course they do. They always do. But remember that challenges are inevitable. Suffering is optional. If you are focusing on all of the ways that your life sucks right now, then no wonder you're suffering. You've got to change your perspective. What do you see in front of you right now that you're grateful for? In what way have you seen miracles in your life lately? Where have you seen God moving and working in your life, or the universe working and moving in your life? Because the universe is always working behind the scenes on our behalf to bring us what's for our highest good and divine timing. And sometimes that means we have to make decisions that maybe we don't want to make. Maybe we have to call on people and ask them for help. It's not always easy, but I will tell you that there have been more times than I like to count in my life where I've had to call my mom or call my dad and say, I need help. Can you help me out? And every single time they said yes. Or if they couldn't, someone else stepped up and did. We've got to be willing to look at things differently, to ask for help, and to be open to new solutions. That's the other message that came through. Be willing to be creative and to be open to new solutions. The universe can bring us things in so many ways. The universe answers prayers in so many different ways. But we are the ones who are so stuck in our little box and we want it done this way at this time, we're limiting the universe when we do that. The universe can make amazing, a wonderful, just will blow your mind, things happen. But we put limits on the universe by saying it has to show up in this way. Be open and be willing to say, however you would like to send help, universe, I am willing to receive it and to accept it. I am open and willing to receive the help that you want to send. And then just step out of your own way and watch what shows up for you. The universe is amazing. And the universe can put people in our paths that can help and totally turn things around. So be willing to be open to how things can show up for you. A lot of you need to do energy clearing work too. If you're feeling ungrounded, you need to do some clearing. And you can do clearings with Reiki, and I do Reiki on people all the time. People will come to me for a reading, or they'll come to me for Reiki, and the very first thing I will say to them is, your energy is just all over the place. I feel so off balance when I talk to you. The first thing we need to do is balance that energy. Like if I do a reading for people and they come to me and that's how they are, I make them stop and do a clearing first. Because when your energy is all over the place, it is so hard to read you. So it's important that you are doing things to balance yourself. And one of the best ways to do that is with energy work. Energy clearings, getting Reiki. And also, some of you out there, I was getting this message as well, really need to do a womb healing. We have a lot of issues that we bring sometimes that have to do with our mothers, but also doing a womb healing connects you more to Mother Earth. And Mother Earth is really a grounding presence and a healing presence that we can connect to. So doing a womb healing is another way to really get yourself grounded, to clear away any, especially if you have issues with a mom. And many of us do. We can love our parents and still have issues with them. And we need to do clearings when it comes to that. Because you're bringing with you this heavy energy and you need to have it balanced. So do these energy healings and make sure that you are not skipping the self-care. I can't stress that enough. People come to me and say, I'm so stressed out and my energy feels like it's all over the place and I don't know what to do. And I'll say, what have you done for self-care? Crickets. Yeah, well, I usually do affirmations in the morning, but I stopped doing that. Oh, I usually do meditation, but I got out of that habit. I'm guilty of it too. There's no judgment here. It's just me telling you that if you're all over the place and you're feeling unbalanced, look at what you're doing. What is your daily routine? Are you making time for yourself? Because I would be willing to bet that you are not. I'd lay all of my money down that you're not. We go through life sometimes at the speed of a bullet train, and we put our self-care on the back burner. And then what happens is we go into survival mode. We're no longer flourishing and happy in life because we have just gone on autopilot. And we stop doing all of the things that keep us connected to Source, to our guides, to all of those resources that we have right at our fingertips to help us. We lose that connection because we're not paying attention to it. We're not nurturing it. We're ignoring it and just going into life in survival mode and just trying to get from this day to this day. And when you do that, you're focusing on your suffering. When you get up and you say, I have to go to this job, I have to do this, I have to do this, that sounds heavy and horrible. Instead of saying, I'm going to this job and it brings me money so that I can be comfortable, and it may not be where I want to be right now, I'm on my way to where I want to be. But for now, it's providing all of these amazing things for me, and I'm grateful for that. It's all about your perspective. If you focus on the suffering, you'll have more suffering. But if you focus on all of the blessings that you see and that you have, you'll start seeing more things to be blessed about. Start shifting the way that you're looking at things. Start asking for help. Do the energy clearing work. You can listen to angelic frequencies. There is a pin on Pinterest that I saved. It says energy, everything is energy. So if you listen to these healing frequencies during meditation, then there are certain things that certain frequencies do. So 174 hertz removes pain. So if you listen to 174 hertz, you can help remove pain during your meditation. 285 hertz influences the energy field. 396 hertz liberates fear and guilt. 417 hertz facilitates change. So if you want change in your life, 417 hertz. 432 hertz is a miracle tone of nature. 528 hertz repairs DNA. So if you've got a lot of family stuff going on, 528 hertz is the tone that you want. It repairs DNA. 639 hertz heals relationships. So if you're having relationship problems, 639 hertz. 741 hertz awakens your intuition. So if you're looking to awaken your intuition more, 741 hertz. And you just go to YouTube and search for 741 hertz, and then in all of the meditations it's really just music that shows up, but the music will show up and you can listen to it. 852 hertz attracts your soul tribe. 852 hertz attracts your soul tribe. I think that's so important because they help to support you. And 963 hertz, you will connect with light and spirit. So you can just look on Pinterest about the healing power of solfeggio frequencies, and then it'll come up and tell you which one does which, what does what. So you can look it up yourself too. But again, just look on YouTube for these different frequencies. And what I like to do sometimes is, even if I'm taking like a hot bath at night, just listen to it while I'm relaxing, or you can listen to it while you're meditating. But that will help you also to clear your energy and to ground you. It's so important that you get grounded, because when we're ungrounded, when we're unbalanced, we tend to make decisions based out of fear, or we make decisions that aren't for our highest good. So it's really important that you stay grounded. Plus, you feel drained and you feel all over the place, and it's just not a great feeling. So it's really important that you try to get balanced and grounded again. All right, well, I wanted to pull a card for you today, and I pulled a card from the Daily Guidance with Your Angels deck by Doreen Virtue. But before I read the card, I want to remind you that if you want an energy clearing, if you'd like a Reiki session, you can go to my website, melissaoatman.com, and you can book one. You pay for it on the website, and then you reach out to me and we'll schedule your session. All sessions are done online through Zoom. Or if you just like to work with me, if you want a reading, again, go to my website. Same thing. You can purchase the reading and then contact me and we'll schedule it. I personally book everything myself because I want you to get the best times available for you. And also, if you want to join me on Patreon, you can listen to the whole episode about karma, because it was very interesting about the different laws of karma and how they can affect you and how you can use them in your life. You can join me on Patreon. The link is in the show notes. Plus, if you go to the all-inclusive access, you will get readings and guided meditations and videos of me whenever I interview guests. So go check that out. All right, your card today is There Is Nothing to Worry About. I love that. That should make us feel better, that we are always being taken care of. You are safe, and this situation is under the control of the divine providence and universal order. Only infuse loving thoughts and emotions into the situation to ensure that the highest possible outcome flows effortlessly to and through you. I love that. There is nothing to worry about. See only love in every situation. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here with me today. Don't forget to check out the BioLife link in the show notes. I will probably continue to put that in the show notes just because I think it's such an important thing to donate plasma. And I want to thank you so much for always supporting this podcast. If you like this podcast, please subscribe. Please leave a positive review from wherever you're listening. The greatest compliment you can pay me is to share this podcast with others. As always, I hope that you are having a beautiful day from wherever you're listening. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.